The mockery begins. The combat training hall of the Interstellar Combat Institute stretched across 3 levels, its walls made of transparent alloy that overlooked the spinning nebula beyond. Marcus Chen stood at the entrance, his regulation training suit feeling too thin against the cold stares of 200 alien cadets. At 16 Earth years old, he was the youngest human to ever enroll in the most prestigious military academy in the known galaxy. The whispers started immediately. Marcus heard them through his translator implant, a chorus of dismissive clicks, growls, and harmonic tones that all carried the same message. Another soft skin. Why do they even bother sending these fragile creatures? Look at him, no natural armor, no claws, no venom sacs. What a waste of a training slot. Marcus kept his eyes forward and walked toward the registration desk where instructor Vexthor waited. The Draknari warrior stood 9 feet tall, his crimson scales gleaming under the artificial lights. 4 arms crossed over his massive chest, each one capable of crushing steel. His species had evolved on a high-gravity world where only the strongest survived, and it showed in every rippling muscle beneath those armored plates. Name and purpose. Vexthor's voice rumbled like distant thunder. His vertical pupils contracted as he studied Marcus with barely concealed contempt. Marcus Chen, sir. Earth delegation. I'm here to complete the standard combat certification program. Marcus kept his voice steady despite the knot forming in his stomach. Vexthor's mandibles clicked in what Marcus had learned was the Draknari equivalent of a dismissive laugh. Combat certification. You understand this program was designed for warrior species, yes? The Draknari, the Krenth, the Sylvari, species that have battle in their very DNA. His massive head tilted. Your kind has been part of the galactic community for barely 3 years. You have no natural weapons. Your bones break easily, and your reaction time is significantly slower than most sentient species. Around them, the other cadets had stopped their training to watch. A Sylvari female with 4 legs and crystalline skin snickered to her companion. I give him 2 days before he quits. Maybe 1 if they actually make him spar. Marcus felt heat rising to his face, but forced himself to remain calm. With respect, sir, I didn't come here to quit. I came here to learn. Learn? Vexthor leaned forward, his hot breath washing over Marcus. Tell me, soft skin, have you ever been in real combat? Have you ever faced an opponent who could tear you apart with their bare hands? The instructor's tail, tipped with a bone spike, swished behind him menacingly. I've trained, sir. 10 years in various earth martial arts. Judo, Krav Maga, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Vexthor's laugh cut him off, a deep booming sound that echoed through the hall. Earth martial arts? You mean the games your species plays to pretend you're warriors? He turned to address the entire assembly. Everyone attention, please. Our newest cadet wishes to earn his place here based on human play fighting. The hall erupted in laughter. A Krenth cadet, looking like a walking boulder with arms, slapped his stone-like thigh. This is the best entertainment we've had in cycles. Marcus clenched his fists but said nothing. His father had warned him this would happen. Humans were the newcomers, the species with no impressive physical traits. No one took them seriously. I'll tell you what, human, Vexthor said, his eyes gleaming with cruel amusement. I will give you a chance to prove your species belongs here. A simple test. If you pass, I will personally sponsor your enrollment, and you can begin training immediately. What's the test, sir? Marcus asked carefully. Vexthor's smile revealed rows of serrated teeth. Survive 60 seconds in the combat ring against 3 opponents of my choosing. Not win, understand? Just survive. Stay conscious and on your feet for 1 full minute. If you can manage that, I'll admit that perhaps humans have some small value. The crowd's laughter intensified. 60 seconds against 3 opponents was considered an expert-level challenge. For a beginner, especially a human, it was essentially impossible. That's not standard protocol, a voice called out. Sarah Williams, the only other human in the facility and a second-year cadet, pushed through the crowd. She was 22, had been training here for 18 months, and had personally warned Marcus about Vexthor's prejudice against humans. You can't change the admission requirements just to humiliate him. Vexthor's gaze shifted to her. The human female who barely passed her own evaluations. Tell me, Cadet Williams, are you speaking as his advocate or his protector? Because if your species needs protection from a fair test, perhaps that proves my point entirely. Sarah's jaw tightened, but before she could respond, Marcus stepped forward. I accept your challenge, Instructor Vex Thor. Sarah spun toward him. Marcus, don't. This is insane. 3 opponents? You just got here. But Marcus wasn't looking at her. He was looking at Vexa Thor, at the smug certainty in those reptilian eyes, at the absolute conviction that humans were inferior. Something cold and hard settled in Marcus's chest. His grandfather's words echoed in his mind, words spoken on his 12th birthday when he'd asked why they trained so hard when humans seemed so much weaker than other species. Because, Marcus, we're not weaker, we're just different. And different can be stronger if you know how to use it. When do we start? Marcus asked quietly. Vex Thor's grin widened. Right now. He gestured toward the main combat ring, a circular platform surrounded by energy barriers. I'll select your opponents. The rules are simple. Stay conscious and inside the ring for 60 seconds. Use any techniques you wish. There are no other restrictions. As Vex Thor moved toward a group of senior cadets, Sarah grabbed Marcus's arm. This is suicide. Those seniors have been training for years. Some of them are from species literally bred for war. Marcus met her eyes. Sarah, do you trust me? She hesitated, then slowly nodded. Good, he said softly. Then watch carefully, because in 60 seconds, everything they think they know about humans is about to change. The crowd formed a circle around the combat ring, eager to witness what they assumed would be a humiliating defeat. Marcus stepped onto the platform, his heart pounding but his mind clear. He'd spent 10 years preparing for this moment, though he'd never imagined it would come so soon. Vex Thor returned with 3 cadets. A Draknari brute even larger than the instructor, a Silvery whose movements were almost too fast to track, and a Krenth whose stone-like body could probably withstand a direct hit from a starship cannon. Your opponents, Vex Thor announced. Begin when the timer starts. Marcus took his position at the center of the ring. Round him, aliens jeered and placed bets on how quickly he'd fall. But Marcus barely heard them. He was counting heartbeats, controlling his breathing, and remembering every lesson, every bruise, every moment of training that had brought him to this point. The timer appeared holographically above the ring. 60 seconds. The crowd fell silent. The timer began counting down, and Marcus smiled.